keyword hooked on phonics.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
This back-to-school season, Downy and Tide are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. U.S. and D.C. 16 or older. And September 30th. Rules at downy.com/scholarship/official rules.
Grab a grape Fun Pop and taste the purple. Or is it grab a purple pop and taste the grape? Yet another one of life's great mysteries, near impossible to solve without the aid of delicious, revelatory Fun Pops. So you tell me, what does purple taste like? Well, better grab a Fun Pop and find out.
Reach out, touch faith.
Depeche Mode. Memento Mori World Tour 2023. Live across North America. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
O'Reilly.
Protect your engine with Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is designed for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99, plus 2 times O Rewards points. Limits apply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Chicago Football Classic is back and better than ever. Central State University Marauders versus Mississippi Valley State University Devils. Saturday, September 2nd at Soldier Field. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster or buy tickets at Midway Wholesalers, 41 West 84th Street or Right Way Construction, 1030 East 87th Street. The Chicago Football Classic is presented by Sherman Dodge, BMO, and NBC5. It's more than just a game. For more information, visit chicagofootballclassic.org.
8:42 here at K-Fire, and it's Friday, which can only mean one thing. We talked to the guys from Guns and the 701. Yes, a podcast you can find on the iHeart Radio app. JD and Clayton join us at this time every Friday. Good morning, guys.
How we doing today?
Good morning, Jesse.
Everything's all good here. I talked to you guys about, we kind of go through what are we going to talk about here today, and I joke with Todd about every single week. I love Fridays at this time because I just put my feet up and I sit back and I listen to your guys' conversation. And I'm a believer in, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, that just seems to work every week. I'll just kind of sit back here. You guys kind of next few minutes just kind of give us an in-depth look at what the podcast sounds like, which I think it works really well today. Clay, you're kind of saying there's just one big topic you want to cover, right?
Yeah, I think we're just going to go right into talking about the National Shooting Sports Foundation and essentially the hit piece that was done. So we're just going to spread freedom seeds just all over the airwaves today.
Love that.
I'm going to let Jamie take the lead on this, though. Go ahead, Jamie.
You bet. So everybody, the leftists are always barking about the big bad NRA. They got all this power. They love gun violence, and the NRA is the boogeyman when it comes to anything guns. But according to this Guardian article that Clay is talking about here, there's something even worse now than the NRA, Clay. Even worse.
Yeah.
When what Clay said was the National Shooting Sports Foundation, and I'll give you a little little quote here from. I'm going to mess this person's name up, and I don't know if it's a man or a woman, or if they even know what they are. Adzi Vokhiwa, the Director of Federal Affairs at Giffords, which is a Second Amendment prohibition group headed by Gabby Giffords and her husband there, Mark, from Arizona. And this person says, make no mistake, the NSSF is even more insidious than the NRA, Clay, more insidious. The National Shooting Sports Foundation hides behind its public identity as a simple trade association while aggressively working to undermine any and all attempts to slow the nation's devastating gun violence crisis. Well, what this person's saying there, Clay, obviously, they're mad that the National Shooting Sports Foundation actually protects their Second Amendment civil rights by trying to stop unnecessary and ridiculous laws they want that do absolutely nothing to stop gun violence.
Well, absolutely, and that's how these people operate. That is what the National Shooting Sports Foundation is supposed to do. Just think of it as your union for gun makers and anybody involved in the industry. I mean, that's basically what they do, like any other group that advocates for its membership. I mean, it's a membership-based organization by the industry to go out there and, they do the SHOT Show, which we all know what the SHOT Show is. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that take place in Vegas every year. And where you get to go see all kinds of cool stuff, the newest, the latest, things like that. They also advocate, though, legislatively, and they always have. They just all of a sudden came on the radar. I suppose they've beat up on the NRA enough that it doesn't resonate anymore with its 5 to 6 million members. So now they're going after a group that has 8 to 10,000 members, and I imagine that's what part of this is about. They just decided they're going to go after the National Shooting Sports Foundation. I mean, and then the things they say, the NSSF, it burrows into every nook and cranny of the gun regulation, of gun regulation as it works to ensure the gun industry's financial interests and consistently and zealously represent. I mean, it's the wording they use. It's those catchphrases, those catchwords, but they're supposed to advocate for the gun industry's financial well-being. That's their whole purpose. I mean, they were founded in 1961, and so they haven't been around near as long as the NRA. That would have been right before the 1968 Gun Control Act. And, they haven't been as active, but they really have, they've been a shining star on the lawsuit fronts. I mean, think about all the lawsuits that they've been doing between 2022 and ever since the Bruin decision in 2022, and they've been very, very successful, along with NRA and Gun Owners America, and that's what we need to see. We need to see these groups membership based, by the way, and not funded by rich ideology and backgrounds of the anti-gun communities. These guys are your salt of the earth people that are members, and they're doing their job, and they're finally banding together, it seems like, and taking this on so many different fronts as we're going to have to do to win the battle.
Well, you're exactly right, Clayton, and this person I was talking about right away from Gifford's Second Amendment Prohibition Group, one of the things here they're really mad about and butthurt over was that the National Shooting Sports Foundation had these commercials out against what's his name there from the ATF, David Chipman. Remember when they were trying to get him as running the ATF, and they had all these. Chipman, I mean, the guy in there now isn't a whole lot better than Chipman. I guarantee they agree. Dettelbach, I think, is his last name. But they're mad because Chipman was on. He was on Gifford's advisory board for 25 years, and they're mad. The guy was against the Second Amendment big time. Why would you want somebody who works in hand with the gun industry to be running the ATF when he's against it? That's ridiculous.
Well, and that was, they made a big stink about that too. That he served with the Giffords group, who is an anti-gun group as far as I'm concerned, and that he served as an ATF agent. Well, I can tell you this right now. Listening to that guy talk, luckily he didn't become the ATF administrator. And like I said, I don't think we got a better one either right now. But he knew nothing either about firearms. I bet if you'd have put him on a stand, just like they did the current guy, he couldn't even explain simple things about firearms that anybody who's running the top agency that oversees NICS, sees the ATF. I mean, think about that. The one person in charge that should have some knowledge of firearms should probably be the director of the ATF, and this guy had none. He just had an ideology that guns bad, AR's bad, and we got to get rid of them all.
I would say, too, just going off of that a little bit, this whole story could take us a half hour easy, but when don't forget, when Joe Biden got in there, the head of the ATF, I can't remember his name, he was a black gentleman, and he went down to the SHOT Show, and he was working hand in hand with the gun industry, trying to get some good stuff figured out and how they could work together. And Gifford's organization and this Violence Policy Center and all these places, they got mad. So what does the Biden administration do? They fired the guy, and now they're trying to get somebody in here who hates guns. It's ridiculous, And if guess what, Clay? If Donald Trump went in there and fired a blackhead of the ATF, guess what they say he was? They say he was a damn racist.
They called him a racist. But you got to remember, these guys are all about the ideology, and that's what regimes do. The Biden regime and crime family extension, that's what they do. They have absolutely no regard for the Second Amendment, people's rights. They don't want you working with the other side. They want to destroy it. They want to get rid of it, and they want to rule. And that's the difference. And that's why, Trump had people in there who actually, they got it. They were constitutionally based. The new regime, them guys, they have zero interest in protecting our rights and working, with Second Amendment groups or even the firearms industry.
Yeah,
they want to get rid of it.
Yep. Yeah. And look, I just said this Violence Policy Center, a little thing here from them. They're mad that the NSF is a singular focus on expanding markets for all types of firearms, including, assault weapons and short-barreled rifles.
Oh, no.
The NRA's lobbying power. Yeah, that was Kristen Rand, who is a lawyer with the Violence Policy Center. Again, another Second Amendment prohibition group. And that Violence Policy Center, I mean, if you're anywhere close to being right, they'll nail you down and blast you. They think that's ridiculous. They're mad that they got Paul Clement. Remember, he's the National Shooting Sports Foundation's main attorney now. And I think Paul Clement he had something to do with the Heller case too, right? Right, Clay?
He did.
Is that where his name comes up?
Yep, he was involved with that. Worked with NRA. I don't think he was actually a paid employee, but he definitely worked within that case. There were a lot of people that worked within that. That was a huge case. I mean, and we won it. 2008, I think it was. I don't even remember off the top of my head anymore.
Well, we'll see if we can figure it out for Wednesday. Guns in the 701, guys. Hey, always nice to hear from you every Friday about this time, 8:40, 8:45. About that time we hear from you. And where and when can we find you at other times?
Of course, like I said, every Wednesday night, the live stream, that comes up at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 7 o'clock Central. Find it at www.gunsin the701.com. Facebook, CommonTube, and then it does upload to Rumble after that. And we do have a Twitter feed now as well for that program. And Jamie, why don't you go ahead and tell them where else you can find us?
You bet. Every Monday at 11:30 a.m. Mountain, 12:30 p.m. Central, we're on KFYRplus.com with Jay Dillon, and it's in the crosshairs, and that goes till about 1 p.m. Mountain Time, about 30 minutes on there.
And, of course, any show missed, find it on the iHeartRadio app. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you very much, Jesse, and have a great weekend.
Yep, you too. Guns in the 701. We'll talk to them again this time next week. 8:53 here at K-Fire. Let's celebrate some birthdays, give away some goodies from Gloria Jeans at the Red Carpet Car Wash. Justin